Well, welcome today to this coalition webinar. We are so glad that you joined us. We've got a great presentation from good friends that have been friends for a long time. Brander Group has been partners with the Hess Consortium for a good while. Probably, I don't know, Alex, probably 5 years,
Yeah,
maybe.
yeah, 5 or so years. Yeah.
5+. So uh, we know uh, we know Brander very well. We have many of our institutions that have used Brander and really benefit from their I would call it white glove service for IPv4. And I'd like to welcome Alex Morris. He is the Vice President for Sales. And I'll let Alex take it away. Alex?
Appreciate it. Thank you, sir. I'm gonna go ahead and share my screen. I've got a little slide deck that will show, if that's okay.
Absolutely.
Perfect.
And Alex, I may be a little bit of an enabler. Normally, the Hess webinars start about 5 minutes um, after the hour, so I may have enabled these guys to be a little late. So I apologize, and I
No,
apologize to you guys for being an enabler.
no problem. No problem. Did you want me to sit tight for maybe another minute or so, or should we get
No,
started?
no, we'll make this recording available to all of our organizations. So,
Okay. Okay. Can you guys see the slideshow? Are you seeing
yes,
the
I see it.
introduction page?
I see it.
Okay, great. Great. Well, again, appreciate everyone joining. Appreciate the opportunity to chat with everyone a little bit about Brander Group and IPv4. My name is Alex Morris. I'm the Vice President of Sales here at Brander Group, and we'll go through a few things to kind of help understand the IPv4 landscape and transfer process. So, a couple of things that we'll be covering today. First and foremost, a little bit about Brander Group, where we come from, and some of the services that we offer. We will take a quick run through IPv4 sales and the actual transfer process, timelines associated with it. We will also discuss some reasons to considering selling unused IPv4 space. We'll also talk about some of the issues and a comparison with selling IPs versus leasing IPv4 addresses. And then lastly, cover some of the potential revenue that can be generated from IPv4 sales. All right. So a little bit about Brander Group. So we've been in telecom and infrastructure for 18 plus years, focused primarily on data center and kind of network and telecom infrastructure. We have a global client base, over 60 countries. We work all over the world with a lot of different companies, a lot of different types of companies, and in a lot of different countries. We're experts in the various regional internet registries, ARIN, RIPE, APNIC, and LACNIC, and all of their transfer policies. ARIN is North America, RIPE is Europe, APNIC is Asia Pacific, and LACNIC is Latin America. So we've worked with all of those registries to design a transfer process and method with our customers that follows based on their legalities and requirements for safely transferring IPs. We're a trusted supplier to some of the largest data centers, hosting companies, ISPs, and cloud providers in the entire world, whether that's on the buying side, selling side, or an offering that we bring to our customers selling their services as well. And just to kind of give you guys an idea of scale, Brander Group has generated over $450 million in IPv4 sales alone in 2022 and 2023. So some of the benefits in working with Brander Group is our pre-sales consultation and support. So Our team at Brander Group assists our clients every step of the way throughout the transfer process. From start to finish, you as sellers will be advised by consultants who understand all the intricacies of global internet registries and the IPv4 market dynamics. Some of the things that we do is we confirm and assist with proper IPv4 chain of custody. That's ensuring that everything is correct within the ARIN portal or various RIR portals to make sure that the IPs are eligible for transfer and can happen smoothly. We provide detailed reporting against 100 global blacklists and help clean them up. We'll touch on this a little bit later, but it's a proprietary report that we run. And if any IPs come up on those global blacklists, we assist in the cleanup of those IPs to help market those to help maximize profits when marketing those to our customers. We help remove IPv4 subnets from global routing tables and DNS entries. BGP will work alongside your team to map out a plan to make sure all of those are removed. So again, when we provide them to our customers or market them to our customers, they are ready for use for them. We provide a legal and safe purchasing processes which protect our clients. We'll jump into the options with that as well. And then we leverage market analysis and research to create data-driven pricing strategy. We have a lot of analytics around the market over the years that we compile together and take a look at where it's been and where it's going to advise our clients on the best strategy for maximizing profits. All right, buyer internet registry qualifications. So each of the RIRs has their own requirements for companies that are looking to receive and maintain IPv4 addresses. These policies were really created to qualify an organization and just make sure that they have a true need for IPv4 addresses because there aren't very many IPs available. So they want to make sure that anybody who is looking to receive IPv4 assets has a valid reason for doing so. Part of what Brander Group does on the front end is fully qualify each of those buyers to make sure they have the proper pre-approvals to acquire the IPv4 address space that they're requesting. So it's a little bit different for each of the registries. The first one is ARIN, the North American registry. Our customers need to have an established ARIN account, a POC or a point of contact within that account, and then an organization identifier, which is tied to their company where they hold their IPs. In addition to that, they also have to have pre-approval from ARIN in order to receive IPs into their org ID. That pre-approval is the receiving organization providing a business case with a 50% projected usage of the requested IPs within 2 years, or they can also demonstrate 75% utilization of the sum of all of their current IPv4 address space. And again, this is something that we help our customers go through and ensure that they have prior to moving forward with any sort of sale. For RIPE is Europe, and for the requirements there, they have to have a RIPE LIR account, which is similar to an ARIN org ID. They have to also have a point of contact and their org ID. Approval is only required for inter RIR transfers from outside the RIPE region. So if it's a RIPE to RIPE transfer, there's no pre-approval. If we are transferring a block from ARIN into RIPE, then RIPE will ask them to demonstrate a 50% projected usage of the requested IPs within 5 years. And again, that's only if it's coming into RIPE from another registry. APNIC is very similar to ARIN. APNIC is Asia Pacific. Requirements are to establish the MyAPNIC account, a point of contact, and the org ID. And then they have to get APNIC pre-approval. Again, very similar to ARIN, they have to provide a business case with 50% projected usage of the requested IPs within 2 years. All right, so a little bit about the detailed blacklisting reporting that I previously touched on. So Brander Group builds a very strong relationship with both buyers and sellers, and we do this by providing by providing full transparency, unique tools, and access to important information about the various IPv4 blocks that we're offering out, either on the seller side or on the buyer side. What we do is we use a proprietary blacklist software that provides access to information that otherwise would only be found through long and arduous processes of checking each one individually and each IP individually. Most companies are forced to do a manual check one by one, and usually only hit a few of the most popular blacklists. Our software runs each IP against over 100 global blacklists in less than a day. And then we provide a detailed report that outlines each of the blacklisted IP address, what blacklist that they're on, and more importantly, links that help remove the affected IPs from those blacklists. So you can see here, this is kind of a sample of what the blacklist report would look like. So there's a summary at the top, which shows some of the blacklists that we would check it against, right? There would be a list of 100 of these. It shows you how many IPs from your block showed up on that blacklist. And then below that, it's a detailed breakdown of showing which IP is on which blacklist, and then links to the removal information that we can share with you and also assist you in the process of getting those removed. A big piece of this is for when we are marketing this to our buyers, we provide this blacklist report to our customers once it's been clean, and it creates a very high level of transparency and trust in us, and that the buyer knows what they're getting. They know that the block is clean, and it can help maximize the profits as well. Couple of payment options that Brander Group offers. We have two secure payment options. One of them is escrow.com, and then bank wire transfer, just depending on the needs of our diverse global client base. To protect the interests of our clients, we only release funds to the seller upon confirmation in the respective internet registries Whois record that the IPv4 subnet has been transferred into the end user's org ID. So either way, whether it's escrow.com or wire transfer with Brander Group, the funds are protected until that transfer is complete and the org ID has been updated in the Whois record. So that first option is Bank of America. Clients who want to avoid setting up an escrow account and save on the fees that are required pay via wire transfer. Money is held in a designated client funds account here at Brander Group until the transfer is verified in the Whois, at which point we would then wire the funds to the seller. So buyer sends us the money, sits in our client funds account. Once that Whois updates, we then release the funds to the seller. Escrow.com, same kind of concept. We're just using a third-party vehicle for it. Escrow.com is a trusted online global escrow platform, which offers clients additional peace of mind if needed. We use a specific release condition that's verified by an escrow.com team member to release the funds, and that's the Whois record updating. So again, buyer would send us the funds. Brander Group will open up escrow with the seller. The money will sit in there. Once that milestone is hit, the funds will be released to the seller. All right, into a little bit about the sales process and the transfer timeline. So most important part here is, again, Brander Group fully manages and streamlines what's usually a very complicated IPv4 transfer process. Most of our transfers are completed in 2 or 3 weeks from the time we receive the buyer payment and confirm that we have it. We don't start anything until we confirm that payment's been received. We support clients every step of the way to avoid any delays. In case of any issue, our helpful staff offers phone, email support, and follow-ups until the transfer is completed successfully. What it kind of looks like is at the start, the buyer will get pre-approval, like we discussed previously, whether it's Aaron or AP Nick, will ensure that their account is set up and they have pre-approval to receive the IPs. Next step is we will send the buyer a block to review. They have a couple of days to review that. Once they review and accept the block and would like to move forward, we'll send out agreements for signatures, 2 to 4 days on getting agreements signed from both sides. After the agreement is signed, we give the buyers a couple of days to fund. So within 1 to 3 days, we'll receive the buyer funding. Once the buyer funding is confirmed as received, we will start to submit transfer requests. Buyer side and seller side will submit those transfer requests. That usually takes about a day or two. After those transfer requests have been submitted, the RIR, whether it's Aaron or Ripe or APNIC, will review that process, review the transfer requests that have been submitted. This can take anywhere from 5 to 10 days for the registry to do that based on kind of their workload. Once they've reviewed the transfer requests, they will approve it, and the Whois record will update to reflect the new owner of the IPs. Typically takes a day or two after the review is approved. Once that Whois record is updated, then the funds are released to the selling organization. All right, so we modeled out just real quickly what it would look like in terms of potential revenue from IPv4 sales. So a lot of the educational institutions that we work with were allocated a /16 IPv4 block by Aaron, which contains 65,536 addresses. In our experience over the years, most of the institutions we work with only require around 4096 out of that /16 block or less to really run their network and have enough IPs for even future growth initiatives. So a little sample model. Today's average IPv4 sales price is between $30 and $42 per IP. If your institution currently has a /16 IPv4 block, and you decide to keep a /20 for your use, it would look like you would keep 123.45.0.0/20 out of that /16. The remaining subnets that would be available for sale would be another 20, a 19, an 18, and a 17. That leaves us with a total of 61,440 IPs that could be sold. If we take that range 30 to 42, $30 an IP would be 1.84 million. And 42 per IP would be 2.58 million. So somewhere in that ballpark is what you could suggest, depend on market conditions when we actually bring it to market. So touch on leasing a little bit. We get a lot of questions about leasing, so it's important for us to talk about some of the potential drawbacks when comparing a sale to a lease, right? So a lot of clients usually lease IP subnets in smaller sizes of 24s to 22s. So that's anywhere from 256 IPs to 1,000 IPs. This creates a very long ramp to rent out the entire 16, right? It takes a lot of customers and a lot of rents to get the entire 16 rented out, right? Typical payback period of leasing versus selling is around 7 years. And one of the most important things is your reputation is at risk if a client uses your IP address inappropriately or spams clients and customers. A lot of the companies that are looking to lease IPs are email marketing, data scrapers, proxy server companies, and the way that they use their IPs can harm the reputation of them. Once you provide a letter of authorization, an LOA, it can then become very difficult to prevent that client from continued usage if they decide not to pay their monthly bill, right? So if they stop paying their monthly bill, it becomes pretty cumbersome to get them off that space and reclaim it for yourself to then have to clean up and sell or release. We also don't know when IPv6 is going to take over and when the value of IPv4 drops. Certainly can happen in the next handful of years, definitely within the next 7 when the payback period would be. And you know, you could potentially lose out on capitalizing where the market is at now. There's some helpful tools and articles for your review in terms of this, case studies, a cost calculator, and some IPv4 news that are linked here. And we'll make sure everyone has access to those links as well. So member discounts for the HES consortium. Brander Groups has been an exclusive partner since 2019. I think Keith and I were talking about that, little over 5 years. And we've extended our partnership in 2023 and discount our services even more. So again, we fully manage the entire transfer and sales process. We help provide the strategy, the readdressing assistance, the blacklist cleanup, the transfers, contracts, and the sales. And what we do as you know, a valued member of the for valued members of the HES consortium is we offer a discounted rate of 6% to only 3% of the total sales price. So our commission percentage is a flat standard 3% of the total sales price of the IPs. All right, I know we went through quite a bit there. Appreciate everyone sticking with me through it, and want to open it up to any questions or feedback or thoughts that anyone may have.
Absolutely. Don't be shy. Ask questions. Brander has worked with many of our institutions, and I have yet to hear any kind of negative feedback at all about their services. So please ask your questions, or put them in chat if you prefer.
Yeah.
Anyone? I'm terrible with awkward silence. Going once. Oh, John just came off mute.
That was an accident. Sorry about that, guys.
Oh, okay.
Appreciate the information and the insight, though. Sorry for the late entry.
No worries. And
No
this
worries.
will be recorded, and we'll make sure that you guys get all the information. And you can fast forward and rewind, John, if you need to.
Yep.
Excellent. Okay, if there's no questions, Alex, thank you for being with us today. You are always a fount of knowledge, and do such a great job with our members. We are so appreciative. And thank you all for being a part of this webinar, and we hope that you'll have a great day. Thanks.
Likewise. Appreciate it. Thank you, everyone.